What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very interesting, very exciting Liverpool transfer video. And in this video we will talk about the possibility of Antoine Griezmann, the French world champion superstar, signing for Liverpool in the summer. Because according to ESPN pundit and former Chelsea midfielder Craig Burley, Griezmann would add much needed strength in depth to Jurgen Klopp's team. So let me know guys, do you think there is any possibility of Griezmann joining Liverpool? Because Griezmann recently came out and said that he will leave Atletico Madrid this summer and he hasn't revealed his destination. So that of course sparks rumors. His most likely destination is Barcelona, because last summer he almost signed for Barcelona, and I think the main reason why he hasn't revealed his destination is his release clause will drop from 200 million euros to like 120 million euros. That's like 105 million pounds. So if Griezmann is available for 105 million pounds, I think Liverpool should go for it, because honestly, when is the time to really strengthen the team? I think it is right now to make Liverpool even better, even stronger. And Griezmann said, it's an incredible 5 years. Thank you very much for everything. I take you, the fans, in my heart. Griezmann's release clause is 108 million pounds if he's signed before June the 30th. So I'm sure that there are many clubs who are interested in Griezmann, and this is what Craig Burley said. I actually think that Liverpool would be a great place for Griezmann to go this summer. Liverpool are very much a team on the up at the moment, and he could aid Roberto Firmino, who also likes to drop deep as a number 9 or a false 9 or a number 10. And guys, if you enjoy these transfer updates, please leave a like. It really helps me out and shows me that you guys enjoy these types of videos, and show your support by turning on the bell notification so you never miss a future upload. Craig Burley continued, and I quote, Liverpool are a huge club who are fighting for league titles with Manchester City, and they have reached the last 2 Champions League finals in a row. I don't know if they got enough money to do it, but I wouldn't go to Manchester United if I were Griezmann, that's for sure. You talk about how good Griezmann would be linking up with Messi and Barcelona. What about with Liverpool's front three? You look at that, and we talk about Liverpool needing that strength in depth. He would add that, and Firmino or Salah some games might sit out. And I think that's actually a good suggestion. I mean, sometimes Griezmann would add something very different to the Liverpool attack. And against big teams, we could start with Salah, Griezmann and Mane as a front three. But against smaller sides, we could start with Griezmann up front or Firmino up front and Griezmann behind him. Or we could start with Salah up front, Griezmann on the right, Mane on the left, and Firmino behind Salah as like a number 10. That would be just spectacular, and we could play that team and that front four against maybe like the bottom 10 sides in the Premier League, or the bottom like 11 or 12 sides in the Premier League. And I think 2 defensive midfielders, Henderson and Fabinho, or Fabinho and Wijnaldum, or Fabinho and Milner. That would be enough against the smaller sides, and just let the front four do its business. I mean, who could live with the front line, with the strike force of Salah, Griezmann, Firmino and Mane? That would be probably the best attack in Europe, even better than Barcelona, definitely better than the likes of Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. And we could even rival Manchester City's attack with that front line. So this is actually not a that ludicrous claim if you explore the possibilities that Liverpool would do with Griezmann in the team. And Steve Nicol, who is also a pundit for ESPN, and he's a Liverpool legend, he won many league titles and the Champions League as well with Liverpool. He said, most transfers in the world are about timing. And I think for Liverpool at the moment it is the wrong timing to bring in Griezmann. You look at Firmino, he's still the main man, and I just think it would be a bad move to move him in right now, because you can't go and buy this guy and not play him. It would be great, yes, in a straight swap for Firmino, and yes, Liverpool need a bigger squad, but the balance would not work, I don't think. So there are counter arguments in both waves, and I think Griezmann would be a fantastic addition for Liverpool. But my biggest doubt in this transfer story is that I don't think Jurgen Klopp would blow another 110 million on just one player when we already have a great front line. I really hope that Liverpool will sign either a right back or a left back, or even a youngster who can play on either side of the team, and I will make another video on that position later, because we have been linked with some interesting players, because Moreno is definitely leaving. And Liverpool also want to sign a versatile attacker to complement the likes of Salah, Mane and Firmino up front. The recent years, Liverpool changed their policy, their transfer policy. Back in the early days of the new owners of Liverpool, FSG, we signed players who were like 20 to 25, 26 years old, and who were just on the brink of getting into very good world-class category, but we didn't sign like players who were worth 70, 80, 90 million pounds. But now, in the past 2 years, Jurgen Klopp realized that if you want to compete with the best clubs in the world, sometimes you need to pay big money. We paid big money for Alisson, for Van Dijk, for Naby Keita. And yes, we even paid moderately big money for the likes of Salah and Mane as well. But Griezmann would be another huge signing in this Liverpool team. And I think Griezmann would solve the strength in depth problem at Liverpool, because this season, when Firmino was out injured, sometimes we had to rely on Origi and Sturridge. And don't get me wrong, Origi had a brilliant second half of the season, but can we really rely on Origi banging in goals against the likes of Barcelona and other top teams when either Salah, Firmino or Mane is injured, tired, suspended, for whatever reason? If one of them can't play, Liverpool are like a giant with just one hand. Sometimes, not all of the times, but sometimes, and Griezmann would solve that problem. So that's where this argument comes in, that yes, Griezmann would cost a lot of money, but that would solve Liverpool's strength in depth problems in the forward line. So then we could spend another like 20, 30, 40 million pounds on a versatile fullback who can play right back and left back. And then I think our squad would be settled for next season, because don't forget that we will get Oxlade-Chamberlain and Adam Lallana back for next season, and they could play a much bigger part. Naby Keita also 1 year under his belt in the Premier League, would be a much improved player. So that's where I kind of say that we should maybe risk blowing 100 million pounds on Griezmann, because honestly that would propel Liverpool to an even higher standard. And honestly, we need to aim higher. We need to aim to try and build a squad that is almost as strong as Manchester City. I know that it's almost impossible with Liverpool's transfer money. We can't rival Manchester City in terms of spending. But if Griezmann could come into the Liverpool team, oh blimey, that would really worry Manchester City, in my opinion, next season, because then we would really go toe-to-toe with them, and we could even score as many goals in Manchester City and really rival them in the Premier League. And of course that would help in the Champions League as well, and that would help elevate Liverpool to an even higher standard in the Champions League, and that would cement Liverpool really as one of the top 5 biggest clubs in the world, because right now I think we are in that bracket. I really hope and pray that Liverpool win the Champions League final, because that would make Liverpool an even more attractive proposition for huge players like Griezmann. So let me know, do you agree with my points or do you disagree? Do you not think that Liverpool have any chance of signing Griezmann, or who should Liverpool buy? Let me know know in the comments below. And Wijnaldum, before the Champions League final, said that Liverpool deserve a trophy this season. He said it would be really sad if we finish the season without a title. I think this season deserves one. We were quite consistent this season and we did so well. Now is the challenge to finish with the title, to make the season complete. The last couple of games were basically games where we could only win, and look at what Manchester City were doing. They won also, fair enough, they are champions. Now we have a game that we can control, the Champions League final, so we have to bring that final to a good end, but it's going to be tough. And I agree with Wijnaldum. I think this season it has to come down to winning the Champions League, because this season honestly deserves a trophy. It has been an almost perfect season for Liverpool, but we have to earn it. Winning a Champions League trophy is very difficult and you have to earn it. You have to play well in the final, you have to score goals, you have to beat the team in front of you, and that is Tottenham, and Tottenham will have enormous motivation as well to win the Champions League final. But I trust Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool players to use last year's final as added motivation, even more motivation, as if you need motivation to win the Champions League final. But I think the Liverpool will be bang up for that game, but Tottenham will be as well. It's going to be one of the most difficult games of the season, but I really hope that Liverpool bring the trophy home, because that would crown an incredible season and bring this Liverpool team up to legendary status in Anfield folklore, in Liverpool history. And Joe Gomez admitted that it was painful watching the Liverpool team from the sidelines, especially this being such a historic season. He said this: like, it might just seem that you are injured and now you just watch the boys, but it hurts, especially a year like this that was pretty historic. To watch a large majority of those games, having had a taste of it at the beginning, was difficult to take. Obviously it was nice to overcome it and get a bit of involvement at the end. We've just got to move on now, and we've got a big game, the Champions League final, coming up. There's a lot of ups and downs and it's all a learning curve. It's still a Champions League final, and they are always separate occasions, and you have to approach it with the same mentality. I definitely think we go into this final in a different place to last year. But I think this year speaks for itself, and the growth in the team has been massive. The manager, Jurgen Klopp, shows and emphasizes the fact that we are a different team, and we can't go into that thinking we are the same team. In that sense, we can take the confidence from that, but still have the desire to win the final, because we know what it means for this club, and we want to get the 6th star. So Joe Gomez is well aware that Liverpool have already 5 stars, 5 Champions League finals, and this is also a historic Champions League final, because if Liverpool can finally win a 6th Champions League trophy, that would put them as outright 3rd most successful club in Europe, because Real Madrid is first now with like 13 or 14 Champions League finals. I lost count. They won so many Champions League finals, like 4 Champions Leagues in the past 5 years, which is unprecedented. But Liverpool are on 5 Champions Leagues alongside I think Bayern Munich and Barcelona. So if Liverpool could go ahead of those clubs, like imagine we could be more successful in Europe than Barcelona and Bayern Munich, and we could now set our sights to catching AC Milan, who are on 7 Champions League trophies, Champions League wins, and I think that's what Liverpool should be targeting. And since we won that 5th Champions League, we lost 2 finals already. We lost in 2007 in very cruel, unlucky circumstances, a deflected free kick which went in of Paolo Inzaghi, and then a great goal, Kaká slipping in Inzaghi, and Dirk Kuyt, the Dutch striker, pulled a goal back for Liverpool, but it wasn't to be. And we actually played better than Milan in that final, but it's very ironic that 2 years ago in the Istanbul Miracle, AC Milan played better and they lost the final. So this time it was other way around. And then of course you are well aware what happened last year against Real Madrid. That was probably Liverpool's unluckiest final. I think that Liverpool need to win this Champions League final, because losing 3 finals in a row 3 finals in the Champions League in a row, and also Liverpool have 3 European finals under Jurgen Klopp, and we already lost 2 of them. So it's absolutely massive that Liverpool take this home or bring this home. And Liverpool and Tottenham supporters trusts have asked sponsors to actually return Champions League tickets, because it's actually farcical, in my opinion, that Liverpool and Tottenham have only been given less than half of the tickets available for the Champions League final, and the rest goes to sponsors and different companies, you know, sponsoring the Champions League. A joint statement from the Spirit of Shankly Group, which is a Liverpool Supporters Trust and Tottenham Supporters Trust, said, Spirit of Shankly and Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, the independent official fan groups of Liverpool and Tottenham, are calling on the main sponsors of the Champions League to return a proportion of the tickets they have received for the Champions League final to the pot for supporters of both clubs. We ask all the big companies to help redress the balance in the current unfair allocation. That means fans of both competing clubs receive less than 25% of available tickets. As major sponsors of the Champions League, your companies appreciate the passion and dedication of the fans who follow their teams and make every game a spectacle. But many of those fans who have followed their club throughout the season will miss out on the biggest game of all, as will thousands more loyal supporters. So we believe that such a good gesture by the sponsors would help lift the occasion by increasing the number of passionate fans inside the stadium and increase each brand's standing on a global scale. We also ask that each sponsor lobbies UEFA to allocate tickets for future finals on a fairer, more equitable split that has supporters benefit. And I fully agree with this. I mean, getting 50% of the tickets, corporate and business people, instead of the actual fans of the clubs. And I'm sure that some of those tickets which are sold to corporate or which are given to corporate and business people, some of them will be sold to actual fans, but those tickets will be sold to actual fans for a bigger, much higher price, and that also doesn't seem fair. But what also doesn't seem fair to me is that some fans who have followed Liverpool all season or for many seasons, many Liverpool season tickets holders and many die-hard fans who go to home and away games, some of them, because of the random draw, the random ballot, won't be able to get a ticket to the Champions League final, and yet some Joe from, I don't know, like Los Angeles, who works at a big company who sponsors the Champions League, and that guy has no affiliation to Liverpool or Tottenham, he will get a free ticket basically just because he works at that big company, and he gets to attend the Champions League final, which is of course a great occasion and all, and I'm not denying that some corporate people should have the chance to witness the Champions League final, but like half of the stadium, that seems like way over the top in my opinion. It should be like 25 or 30% maximum tickets allowed for companies, and at least like 70% or even more, 75% of actual tickets should be going to the actual fans of both clubs playing in the Champions League final. And I'm not just saying this because Liverpool are in the final. I've been saying this for years, because it's just not right. It doesn't feel right that corporate company people get as many tickets as the actual fans of the teams who qualified for the Champions League final. But let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later guys. Goodbye.